races. The Dutch Lions have maybe the best opener, some of the best openers when you have Velzeboer and Velzeboer, absolute powerhouses to lead things off.
And in some of the other relays, the 3,000 meter relay, the 5,000 meter relay, the start is less critical. But in the mixed gender relay, the start does have an impact. You want to be controlling the race from the front. You're going to get cleaner exchanges. And we're already in the quick speed, the quick sprint laps of a race.
Sandra Velzeboer out in front, Gloria Ioriatti trying to get into that slipstream a little bit, but she has Kristen Santos Griswold right behind her. And Kamila Stormovska trying to hang on as each skater goes 2.5 laps, and then each skater will go 2 laps the second time round. In comes Toon Boer for the Dutch Lions.
Kristen Santos Griswold did a great job positioning the Eagles up into second position there. Sean Shui tucked into second.
Boer out in front. He has Thomas Natalini right behind him, and then DNA Sillier. Sillier will go to Michał Nowinski. Pietro Siegel on the Gladiators. Andrew Hio for the Eagles. And Jens van het Wout for the Dutch Lions.
Jens van het Wout creating a little bit of a gap behind him. That opens up some space for the Gladiators, and there's Pietro Siegel taking advantage of the, oh, it's a tight entry with Andrew Hio.
He goes through. Hio does go out wide a little bit. That will be subject to review. You see the little yellow dot in the corner of your screen. Now it is Michelle Velzeboer. Ariana Siegel, Corin Stoddard trying to close now.
Natalia Malashevska trying to close that gap, get the Hussar back in the race. She didn't have a great exchange with Nowinski.
And it is 3 and just about to be 4 as good work done by Kamila Stormovska, really closing the gap. Santos Griswold spills.
Kristen Santos Griswold just came back on her heels at the exit of the turn, just lost control. Corey Stoddard tags up, but now we got 3 in the race.
And it is Toon Boer, Thomas Natalini, DNA Sillier. Sillier getting right up there. The Dutch hanging on. Of course, they have an absolute powerhouse to finish things off in Jens van het Wout.
DNA Sillier looking up second. Nowinski getting out on the exchange. Natalini almost goes inside. Nowinski back into second.
It was absolute confusion there with Nowinski going for the change. Natalini stayed out on the ice instead of Pietro Siegel going in. It is Jens van het Wout claiming victory for the Dutch.
Wow. Well, lost to review there. First off, Dutch Lions, great race. They stayed out front, they stayed clean. I don't see anything impacting that result for them, but there's a lot to unpack on that exchange with the Hussar and the Gladiators. We saw DNA Sillier making that pass in a section on the exchange corner. I don't think his teammate, Michał Nowinski, was expecting that, so he had to jump up, try to reposition himself quickly, had some contact with Pietro Siegel. That made the missed exchange, but you got to follow an exchange order here, so that could impact the Italians as well.
So the first incident that was reviewed was the pass here. It has been cleared. So that's not going to be subject to anything, but what is that potential, they say it's a potential obstruction by an infield skater.
There's
so that's Santos Griswold going down on her own.
Yeah, she just got caught back on her heels on the exit of that turn. Here's that exchange. Nowinski comes across, clips with Pietro Siegel. Then Natalini keeps going, so then the Italians don't have their exchange order followed. This is when we say we leave it to the officials to
You watch at home, you can decide amongst yourselves what should happen. We'll let the experienced pros who decide these things make it happen. One thing I think is for sure is that
we can count on that. You know, this could play to the hands of the USA Eagles as well if there is a disqualification or penalty, despite them having finished 4th. So
there was the confusion that came always on the exchanges. Nowinski had to get into a different position to accept that pass, and that's where the collision with Siegel came from, as you were explaining. And so those exchanges always tricky.
Well, one thing's for sure, the Dutch Lions delivered for their home crowd.
They've been filing in here for the better part of an hour, and here is the ruling down on the ice.
After review, we give penalty to Team Poland.
There is the ruling. Penalty to Poland.
Hier zijn ze Tilburg. Teun Boer, Jens van het Woud, Michelle Velzeboer, Xandra Velzeboer. The Dutch Lions Team NL.
Is hij een meisje? Ja, zie je dat elke keer, hè?
Ja, Tilburg, daar staan ze. Het is Polonaise. Het is de Dutch Lions. Xandra, Michelle, Teun en Jens.
Yeah, it's always such a great feeling, especially now being in first. Was of course hoping for a bit more of a fight with Pietro towards the end, but it's short track. We stayed on our feet, we'll take it. Yeah, I mean, in front of this crowd, I'll definitely take it.